So Google has released Gemini Embedding 2, which is their first natively multimodal embedding model. Now, AI models come out every single day. Why should you care about this one? Well, this is Google's first embedding model that is not just limited to text. It also supports images, video, audio, and documents, meaning your RAG system will no longer be limited to just text. Let's understand the utility. So if you wanted to create an AI agent which is trained on your data, what you would do is you would send it a query, it would search it from its knowledge base, vector database, it would use it as context and give you the final answer. The thing is that previously it was just limited to text, meaning you could only train it on your text documents. But with this new embedding model, it opens up all of these possibilities. You can train your AI agent on images, videos, audios, PDFs, etc. For example, if you send it a query, rather than just looking into documents, it can have a look at your images, your audio files, and give you answers. Now, is this actually the very first multimodal embedding model that we're seeing? No, we have seen that previously with Qwen, with Jain AI. But for someone like Google, it is the first one for sure. And if you even compare it with other companies like OpenAI and Anthropic, Google is relatively the first one to release a multimodal embedding model. And hence, it is going to be widely adopted by the masses. Now, the RAG pipeline that we have been using for all this time is going to remain the same. It's not going to change. RAG is not dead. The only difference is we are going to change the underlying embedding model. Now, embedding models so far have been taking in text and they are converting those text into embeddings. Embeddings are basically coordinates that go on to the vector space. Now, I'm not going to go into the theory of how that works. I have discussed that previously in my videos. So the major change now is going to be that instead of just text, it would be able to take all of these and convert them into embeddings. To better understand, you can also have a look at this particular visual which was released by Google inside their blog post, which is basically taking in all of these and it's converting them into embeddings that are then stored inside the embedding space. Alright, so now you're going to think, Yashica, I have understood what is Gemini Embedding 2 and how it is different from the other embedding models. What is next? Well, now we're going to build an AI agent of our own. We're obviously going to train it on our data, basically ingest a RAG pipeline, and this time we are going to make it multimodal. We're going to ask Claude to build this AI agent for us on our behalf. We're not going to build it ourselves. We're just going to prompt it and we will let it do the work for us. So basically, we're going to be vibe coding this AI agent. We are going to build it, we're going to test it, we're going to debug it, and then we will finally deploy it on the internet. Alright, so if you're ready, let's get started. Just so you know me, my name is Yashica Jain. I am an AI automation specialist. I have been in this space for more than 2 years now. I run my own agency called Automates AI, wherein we set up custom AI systems for businesses that helps them to cut costs and save time. So if you're interested, you'll find the link to our website in the description. I also consult one-on-one, so if you're interested, you can check out the link to my consultation calendar in the description. Alright, so here is Claude. In case you want to see a beginner's guide on Claude, I will link up another video of mine here that you can watch to see how you can set it up, how you can use it, and get a gist of the fundamentals. So before we begin, let's quickly understand what exactly we are building. So we're building an e-commerce AI agent which has a chat interface from where the customers will be easily able to interact with our AI agent. This AI agent is going to have access to our inventory, basically our product database and images, and it's going to help the customers find products that match their needs. For example, someone types in, I want formal shoes, they should be black in color, they should be less than $200, etc. And based on that, it looks into the database, gives the answers. Or someone uploads the image of a particular shoe and they're like, do you have something like this available? And it looks through the database and gives them the product recommendation. So in short, it's going to be a shopping assistant for an e-commerce store where it has access to all the products available. You can add more data to it like your return policy, like frequently asked questions, operating hours. But for now, the main goal is going to be to connect it to our database, which is going to have both text as well as images. On the back end, when I talk about RAG, which is Retrieval Augmented Generation, we are going to have two separate pipelines. The first is going to be the ingestion pipeline. You can think of it as uploading data to our AI agent. We are going to give it access to our database, which is going to be a product CSV, in this case with the product details, for example, the name, the description, the price, etc., and the images folder, which is going to have the images of these products. We are going to ingest both of them. We're going to send them to Gemini Embedding 2, which is going to furthermore convert it into embeddings, which is going to be then stored into a Supabase vector database. So you can think of it as a place where all of these generated embeddings are stored and they are retrieved from that exact database. So we're going to have all of our product details and we're going to store the embeddings. Then there's going to be this query pipeline. For example, if someone types in the chat that I want to look for a red leather bag, and maybe they also have a photo of the bag. In that case, again, that is going to go into Gemini. It is going to generate the embeddings, and then comes the similarity search. It is going to search Supabase, which is basically our database where we had stored all of these embeddings. It is going to do a similarity search, and it is going to return the top 5 matches. So I hope you now understand why embeddings are important. They are stored inside Supabase, and when it's time to query, it actually does a similarity search using the embeddings, then get the best matches. And then these will be then passed on to our LLM model, which could be Gemini, OpenAI, Anthropic, doesn't matter. And then the customer gets their final response. So I have converted this logic into a prompt that we will be sending to Claude Code, and you will also have access to this prompt. So in case you want to make a few changes and build something for yourself, you will find this prompt in the description. So we're starting by saying that build a multimodal RAG AI agent called Shopee for an e-commerce store. This agent helps customers find products by chatting. They can describe what they're looking for in text or upload an image of a product they like. Use Gemini Embedding 2 Preview to embed each product as a combined multimodal embedding, sending both the product text and the product image together. Okay? Then for the text, we are telling it that you have to combine all of these into a single string, and then we are giving it the link to the documentation of Gemini. We're also telling it about the rate limits. For example, for images, you can only send 6 images per request, so it should know that. Then we are telling it about the structure of our database. Alright, so let me show you. This is the database that I have, which has the product ID, product name, basic details about it, a description, and the image file name, which is basically the image which is associated with this product and the link to the product. Obviously, all of this is dummy information, but this is the CSV file that we are going to upload to our AI agent along with these images. These are just the file names of the images. So we're telling it a little bit about that here. Then we're asking it to store all the generated embeddings inside of Supabase. Okay, so I already told you it's basically a database where you can store them and you can easily do a similarity search, right? So we're asking it to connect to Supabase's MCP. Okay, which is Model Context Protocol. Think of it as an easier way to connect to Supabase. Then we're asking it to use Gemini Flash for, the normal chat. And then I am basically telling it about the 2 pipelines that I told you about. So first is the ingestion one, which is going to look at the product and the file. It's going to send it to Gemini and store the embeddings inside Supabase. Second is the query, which is again going to take the user's input, convert them into embeddings, search, and return the result. We're telling it to build a clean, modern chat interface, which has a conversation history, it has input bar, people can upload an image, they can see the results, etc. We're asking it to keep all the API keys, everything safe, and then I'm giving it an example from Gemini's documentation that I found, which is for text as well as images. So this was our Claude Code workspace. Firstly, let me upload the CSV file. So let's go here, let's download it as a CSV, and that has been dragged and dropped here. As you can see, this is the data associated with the CSV. And then I have uploaded a folder which has my product images, as you can see. Now inside my prompt, I'm telling it that the product images are stored in the images folder. So here the name of our folder is product images. So let me update that here. Make sure you also update the column names of your CSV file or of your database here, because mine are different, yours would be different. Now let's copy the prompt, close this, head back to Claude Code, and let's paste our prompt. Now for the permissions, I'm choosing edit automatically because we're not changing any existing code. Instead, we're building from scratch. And I think in that case, Claude Code doesn't need my permissions. And for the effort, I'm going with medium. The model I'm using is Sonnet 4.6. You can change it from here if needed. Switch model right here. Alright, so everything looks good, and now let's hit send. Alright, so it seems that everything has been set up on the backend in terms of code, etc. But I don't think it is using Supabase's MCP because it is still asking for all of these details that are not needed in case of an MCP. So let's go ahead and install the Supabase MCP and let's tell it that we've done that so that we can skip this part. So let me just open up the terminal here and let's paste this command, which is going to add the Supabase MCP. And now if you open up a new chat and you go to MCP servers, you will spot Supabase. So let's click on this one. Let's authenticate. So now it's going to ask for the access. Now if you don't have a Supabase account, just create one. I will put the link to it in the description. You can create a free account and then let's authorize it. Okay, that is done. Let's click on check and that's done. So now let me tell it I have connected to Supabase's MCP. Let me ask it to complete the setup. So this way we are going to save time on the setup. Claude Code will be easily able to do the setup on our behalf. Alright, so it's saying that it can see these projects inside my Supabase account and it's asking which project should I use or should I create a new one. So let me just ask it to create a new one. And let me ask it to name it Shopee Rag. Alright, so project created, everything done. Now the only thing we have to do is add our Gemini API key so that it's able to access the model, and then we can go ahead and run our ingestion pipeline, which will convert all the products into embeddings and store them in our database. So for that, just simply search for Google AI Studio, go to the first link, head over to the API key, get API key tab at the very bottom. Let's create a new one. Let me call it embeddings. Let's create one. Make sure you have an active payment method and you are either on tier 1 or a higher one. Free one doesn't work with the embedding model as of now. Alright, so here let's go to the env.example file and let me just replace the Gemini API key here. Alright, so I've pasted it. Let me tell it that I have done that. And let me ask it to go ahead and run the ingest pipeline. Okay, it wants me to add it to the env file as well and not just the env example. So let's add it here as well. Let me tell it done. Alright, so the ingestion was complete. So if I come back to Supabase and let's go to database here and let me just open up this one. And yes, we have the data. So these are the product details coming in from the CSV file. The new thing is the embeddings. So using Gemini, it has successfully generated all of these embeddings right here. This, I am assuming, is for both the images as well as the text. Let me just double confirm if the embeddings are for both or not. I mean, it should be, but it's just good to double check. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, so that is good news. Now I want to test it through the chat interface. So let me ask it to give me the link for the same. Alright, so here's the localhost 3000 link. So let's click on this. And there we go. So here's Shopee AI-powered shopping assistant. Welcome to Shopee. I'll help you find the perfect shoes, describe what you're looking for, or upload a photo of a style you like. Okay, so let me just click on one of these for now. Let's go with formal. And we got an error. So the error is basically that this model does not exist or is not available to new users. Okay, so let's change the model then. So let's copy this, paste it here. And I think I'm just going to go with this one. Let's click on this and let's copy the name of this model. And let me ask it to use this instead. Alright, so let's try again. So let's choose these. And there we go. So here is the card. Now here's the output. It's not that well structured when it comes to text, but I really like the cards here. So it's saying I'd be happy to help you find the perfect pair of formal shoes. And then it's giving these options. Let me know if you'd like to hear more about these. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to check if these details are correct or not. So it has chosen the Oxford Elite Classic. The image is correct. That much I know. For the pricing, $189.99, that is correct. The rating here seems to be 4.8, correct again. Let me check for the second one, which is this 4.7, and the price is also correct. And the other thing is these are connected, or these are linked to their product pages. So if you click on it, it's going to take you to that link. Now, obviously my link was dummy, so it's going to take you nowhere. But in a real world use case, it would take you to the product page. Now, I know the last two don't really come under the formal shoes category, but my product database was kind of limited. It had limited options, so I wouldn't complain. Alright, so this was great. Let me just ask it to, fix this one a little bit, because the markdown formatting and all, it's not working really well. So let's take a screenshot of this. So I'm telling it fix the formatting of the text, the bullets, boldness, italics, line breaks, all of it. Let's see what else. So these ones look good. I mean, the font and all, everything looks good. I don't think I have to change anything. Once this is fixed, we are going to go ahead and test the image functionality, if that matching feature is working or not. Okay, so it's saying that it should be fixed. So let's see. This time, let's see, what can we ask? So let's ask for shoe recommendations under 120 maybe. I want to buy shoes from your store. Suggest best sellers under 120. Alright, so it's saying that after checking our inventory, it looks like all of our top rated best sellers are priced above 120. I think by that it means that their rating is not that good, right? Okay, so let me ask it, okay, forget the best sellers, just show me what you have under 100. 120. So it's saying all of them are priced at $124.99 and above. But I think here we have these ones. So that is a bit off. So let's take a screenshot of this and let's send it here. So I told it in the database we have shoes under 120. Why is it not recommending them? And let's hit send. Let me also check if it has memory. So let me ask it, what was my last question? So your last question was asking me to show you what we have under 120. Okay, so I think the memory is working fine. It is able to look at the previous messages. And let's see what it says. I'm so sorry for the confusion earlier. I just located this one, which is priced at $119.99 and fits perfectly within your budget. Okay, so it tried to correct its mistake, which is nice, meaning it is able to look into the database and find the products. That's nice. Alright, so it's saying that it has fixed it. So let me just refresh and let me ask it to recommend shoes under 120. Okay, that worked. So since you were looking for something under 120, I have this recommendation. Let me ask it, do you have something around 60 to 90? Okay, so it's again not doing that. So I think the vector search for pricing part is not working fine. So I've told it that I double checked it, but it didn't perform the second time. The vector search tool should be easily able to do a search and return the ones in their budget. Fix this issue, do not find any turnarounds. By that, I mean that, don't just try fixing it without fixing the underlying logic. Alright, so it seems it has done some work around it. So let's see if we can get this to work. So let me ask it, do you have any shoes which are priced around 70? Okay, so this time it finally worked and we have got this. Let's do one more. Okay, it worked. So yeah, this pricing thing is working fine now. Let's do one more before we go over to the images. So let me ask it, I am looking for sneakers. Do you have any? And yes, it did. Cool. Okay, so that was about text and it is working quite fine, I think. So we tried by pricing, we tried by categories. So I think we're in a pretty good shape when it comes to that. Now let's see if images work. So here is one image that I have, again AI generated. It's of white sneakers. And inside my database, I have this image, which is similar to that, but it's not the same. So let's see if that works. So let me download this. Let me attach that image here. Let me ask it, do you have something similar to this? Okay, it worked. So the very first recommendation that we got was for that one, which is very similar. Then we had these. Not bad. So this was a text plus image query and it worked. Next up, let me try with this. I have nothing similar to this one in the database. So let's see what it comes up with, which is the closest one it recommends. Let's attach the image here. Do you have something like this in stock? Oh, I think I opened one of my previous tabs in which we were working previously. Okay, so it returned sneakers because mine were sneakers as well. If you see the style, it's the same, but the colors are not a perfect match. So, okay, I get it. It did not match based on the color, but based on the look of the shoe. Perfect. Let's do one more. Cool. And the text is also rendering properly. And with that, Shopee has been set up. Now you can go ahead and add more documentation around your e-commerce store. For example, frequently asked questions, return policy, whatever you have. For example, if someone asks here, what is your return policy? It should be able to answer it. So, just any related documents. And that is how we have set up a dynamic AI-powered shopping assistant in no time. Now we have seen how we can set it up and it is live on our local host 3000. But I don't want to conclude here. I also want to show you how you can take it live on the internet such that it has a real domain. Now if you already have an existing website, you can easily integrate the code with that. But if you want to assign a new domain to it, you can follow this process and take it live on the internet, basically host it on the internet. And this is not limited to just this one. You can use it for any website, any web app, anything that you have created and you would like to deploy. Now, to deploy this code on the internet, two things are needed. The first is a hosting and the second is a domain. And if you ask me the most straightforward way of hosting it online, I would say that you should go with Hostinger's cloud hosting. It's not just affordable, but very easy to set up. All you have to do is take your code files and upload it and boom, it's live on the internet. And the best part is that this hosting is coming with a free domain, meaning you don't have to buy it separately. And if you compare the prices with the other ones in the market, you will see the difference. I use Hostinger for my own website, for any hostings that I do for my clients. So you'll find the link to this page in the description below. You can scroll down and for what we have set up, I would say the starter plan should work just fine. It comes with 10 managed Node.js web apps, 4 CPU cores, 4 GB RAM, 100 GB NVMe storage, and much more. As I said, free domain for an entire year along with unlimited SSL. It also comes with 10 mailboxes. So if you need professional emails, then you're going to get 10 of them for free for an entire year. And they have priority support and 30 days of money back guarantee. And if you go with their 48 months plan, you will also get 3 months of free hosting. So if you're ready to host it online, click on choose plan. Here you can select for how long you would like to buy this hosting for. The more, the better the price. And since you're watching this video, you can use the coupon code Yashica20 to get a flat 20% off on your cart value if you're either going with the 12 months plan or the 24 months plan or the 48 months plan. So basically any plan which is 12 months or above, this coupon code is going to be valid till the end of March 2026. You'll find the link and the coupon codes in the description. So once you're all set, just complete the purchase and now let me show you the rest of the process. So as soon as you buy it, it's going to take you through an onboarding process. During that process, you can select that I have hired someone to migrate my website and then you will land back to your dashboard. From here, I want you to head over to websites and you will spot your cloud professional plan right here. So I want you to create a new folder and inside that newly created folder, just move the rag folder, which is this one, and then the product images folder in case you have them separately instead of one, which is my case. And then just zip that folder, which is compress. If you have them as one folder, then you don't need to put them inside another folder. If you have them separately only, then you have to do that. If you have just one, just zip that one. And okay, we have got this zip file. Here, we're going to come back to Cloud Professional. We're going to click on Add Website. We're going to click on Node.js web app. Then it's going to ask you to choose a domain. Remember, I told you there's a free domain. So just choose whichever one you like. I had already chosen one of them for my previous demos. I'm just going to select that. You can choose whichever one you want and register it. Let's click on next. Then you have to click on upload files. Then it's going to ask you to upload the zip folder. So remember, we just now zipped our code files. So we're going to upload that. So there we go. Mine is of about 76 MB, not a very big one. That's done. Okay, this looks good. Just for the environment variables, we are going to add Gemini _ API _ key. Then add your API key and let's deploy. This is going to take a little bit of time. Alright, deployment completed. Now if I go to my browser and I search for that particular domain, we have Shopee. And just like that, you can easily deploy using Hostinger's cloud hosting. Thanks to Hostinger for sponsoring today's video. And that brings me to the end of this video. I really hope you were able to learn some new concepts. If that was the case, don't forget to like the video and do subscribe to the channel if you want to continue learning in this space. Don't forget to check out the link to our website in case you're interested in getting your business automated. And if you want to get on a one-on-one call with me, check out the link to my consultation calendar in the description. If you want to connect with me personally, send me a connection request on LinkedIn. And don't forget to follow me on X. Links are in the description. You'll find a link to Hostinger along with the coupon codes in the description. Do let me know in the comments what you want to see next. I will meet you in the next video. Till then, bye!